9 reasons why you should not get a patent, coming up now. Hi, I'm Oliver and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and pushing that bell notification, because otherwise YouTube will not let you know when we release new videos. And it also helps to push the algorithm to show this video to more people who might be in need of this know-how. Let's deep dive into today's topic, 9 reasons why you should not get a patent. Reason number 1. You have published or disclosed the content of your innovation. Actually, the lack of novelty is the number 1 reason why patents are not getting granted or being rejected during examination. Hence, you need to be very careful when you have a great idea and you think it's worthwhile patenting, that you really do not talk to anybody, or at least you have NDAs in place, non-disclosure agreements, that ensure that the information you're spreading will be kept under the parties signing this agreement. Reason number 2, keep the innovation secret. If you're filing a patent, you know that you will have to disclose all the information concerning your innovation so that it is clearly marked how and what you're actually trying to patent and protect from others. However, that also means that everybody knows exactly how you have come up to this idea. And sometimes it might be better to not disclose this information. What might that be? Well, for instance, I've been working in a company on chemicals, which actually were quite difficult to manufacture. Now you think, okay, well, it's easy to figure out the end product, but no, actually, sometimes it's really difficult. And then you need to put down a lot of time, effort, and money to come up with a solution to copy that thing. Hence, it doesn't make sense for people to spend all that money up front. If they would have just gotten your patent, they would just copy it and boom, all your work would be for nothing. But keeping it as a trade secret actually prevents you from other people using it. The second reason why you might want to keep your innovation secret is it is timeless, meaning there's no limit to the amount of time that you can keep that information secret. And that is a question to you as a viewer. Which is one of the best hidden trade secrets for over 100 years and has not been filed for a patent? Do you know? The answer is coming at the end of the video. Reason number 3, your innovation process is much faster than the patenting process. There are industries out there which actually innovate in such a pace that they are much faster than the time it takes from application to grant the patent. Usually it takes, let's say, roughly 3 years. And so if your innovation process is much faster, you have already out-innovated yourself in 3 years' time before that patent actually comes into action. I want to give you an example. For instance, the manufacturing of insulin for those people with diabetes actually is one of the things that is hardly ever patented, even though companies would love to. But they actually innovate their manufacturing process in such a way so quickly that it doesn't make sense for them to file patents. They rather innovate quicker and quicker, spend more on R&D, and by that are saving money and are staying ahead of the competition. The second reason why you might outtime the patent process is that maybe your product is only of a very short life, meaning the life cycle of the product you're selling or the innovation you're manufacturing is so short that let's say 1.5 to 2 years, that you run out of the need for this product within that short amount of time. Hence, it doesn't make sense to file a patent for something that you will have protection just, let's say, 2 to 3 or 4 years later down the road. And that doesn't actually include international patenting at all. Reason number 4, it actually does not make financially sense to file a patent. What I mean by this is, let's say you only make a revenue of $10 to $15, maybe $20,000 a year on your product. Reality is that the cost of filing a patent minimum is $12,000, and that is just for one country. So if you seek for many more countries, let's say China, Europe, and all the other countries that are relevant for your product, you actually are multiplying the expenses. And hence, if you are not making enough revenue or profit of these products, it doesn't make sense to have them patented. Reason number 5, you will have a competitive edge over your competition. That could be you are actually having a stronger brand than anybody else, or you're having a different design than anybody else. These are factors that actually would not make it feasible to come up with a patent, rather having a design protection or other forms of IP protection so that you were able to go and move along much faster without spending and waiting a long time for patenting. Reason number 6, the patent does not add value to you or your company. You can file a lot of patents and you can patent a lot of stuff, but actually, is it really worth it? For most of the time it isn't. But if you have, let's say, a complex technology that you're trying to develop, like what I have done, then of course it makes a lot of sense, and this actually adds value to the company because you can protect for the time being that you are actually mastering this technology to have nobody else working on it, or at least prevent them from selling it. This is very important that you understand when and how actually a patent delivers value to you and or your company. Reason number 7, you do not have the financial power to protect your patent. Let's face it, those with the deeper pockets always win any battle in the IP world. And that is one of the reasons why Apple and Samsung are fighting each other for more than 5 years over some really, let's say, non-relevant IP topics. But that they have so deep pockets that they don't care. They can keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Let's say you, as a small business owner or startup owner, you have neither the financial resources nor the time to fight a company like Apple or any of the other big companies, doesn't matter. Hence, if you cannot and are not willing to defend your patent once granted, or you don't have the capabilities, don't do it. Reason number 8, you want the innovation to be used by the society. If that is the case, if you come up with something that you want everybody to use and for the better good of the society, you do not want to file a patent, but you just disclose it and publish it. This, of course, depends on your personal situation or the situation or the patent itself or the innovation itself. Sometimes innovations do not make sense. Sometimes you want to push something forward like Tesla has done, right? Tesla, for instance, is one of the companies that went the other way around. So they first got all the patents, but then they realized that they should release all the patents so that electric vehicles can be used much faster, much more frequent than it is currently the case. Hence, they released all the patents and did not pay the fees. Hence, it is free for public usage now. Reason number 9, you do not have a plan. What I mean by this is a patent is really expensive. And as I'm already mentioned, I would say roughly between $7,000 until $12,000 to $15,000 per country for one patent. Now, let's face it, 95% of all patents ever filed never make any money. They cannot be sold, they do not have any value, and nobody's going to buy from it. Also, it is really unlikely that somebody just buys an idea off you, because ideas and patents can be granted, let's say, rather easily. However, if you do not have a business case associated with it, there's no point for somebody else spending a lot of money on you and your idea. Hence, only those people who have thought a little further and grind it in on their patent to come up with a business case, making thousands, 10,000s, millions of dollars, then it becomes very valuable, this patent. Then you had the plan and then you're going to make a lot of money out of it. But that is really the minority of cases. Now, coming back to the question, which is one of the biggest trade secrets never been filed for a patent? You know this? It's very easy. Coca-Cola. In 1886, John Pemberton decided not to file a patent but keep the composition of Coca-Cola as a trade secret. And it is until today, over 100 years later. What does it tell you? A patent actually expires after 25 years, whereas a trade secret can be kept until infinity if you manage to do so. Then a trade secret becomes more valuable than any patent. And up to today, nobody was really able to copy the chemical reaction that results in Coca-Cola. Got it? All right. If you're still not sure whether you want to file a patent or not, you might click on the video up here because that's going to guide you how to file a patent. If you've made it now that far into the video, please consider subscribing and pushing that notification bell so YouTube pushes out the videos to you and other people who might be in need of this content. So, are you thinking about to patent or not to patent your innovation? Just drop a comment down below and let's start a discussion here. Thank you and see you next time.